Good evening. Welcome to Current Mood. It's me, John, and I'm coming to you from Brisbane, Australia, where we are on tour, ready for night 2 of our world tour, which is just in a few hours. We'll be sound checking. I got to tell you, there's very little show tonight. A lot of times I say we got a lot of show. There's very, very little show. And in fact, the lights we were going to have, they were just going to blow out all the power using the international adapters. And I forgot the memory stick that had all the clapping, all the fake laughter. Everything is gone there. I'm just a guy who's a little disoriented, super psyched to be on tour. And, you know, sometimes when you go into a shrink and you're like, I have nothing to say today, that's sometimes when you have the most to say. So, guys, maybe this is going to be a great show. But maybe. But I embraced, right before the show, I embraced that it wasn't going to be, well, not that it wasn't going to be very good, but there wasn't much going on with it. It reminds me of a moment that I had with Dave Chappelle not long ago. We were in Chicago. We had managed to just be together in the same city by accident. He wanted me to go to a club. It was real late at night, and it didn't seem like this club was going to be for me. I said, Dave, it's going to be terrible. And this is what I drew on for today. Dave leaned in and he said, John, let it be terrible. And he got me to the club, and I stayed for 5 minutes because it was terrible. That was the night I almost got in a fight with somebody because I saw water on a table, like in a bucket. And I took the water out of the ice bucket. And a guy was very, very gruff with me. He was like, that's not yours. And I was like, I'm very, very sorry. But he had a certain amount of gruffness he had to get out. That's not your water. And he was right. It wasn't my water. But when you're a non-drinker and you're at a club and you see a water, it's like being in a video game and like a med pack falls or something. Ooh, this is for me. And it's not for me. But when you're a non-drinker at a club and you see an unopened bottle of water, you're like, ooh, the creator of the club left this for me, the non-drinker. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Let me explain to you how I got here to Brisbane and how I always get where I'm going internationally and how everybody does. I pack for about a week because it's a big trip. And then the night that it's time to leave, you always leave at night when you're going international. Why? Just to make it spookier. Fine. So the sun has just gone down, you're breaking a sweat, getting all your stuff out of the house. You get in the car and it's kind of an eerie drive, you know? You know what you have to go. It's the closest thing to like time warping. You're just putting yourself in the frame of mind to be able to do this. And then you get through TSA. And then you get to the most purgatory part of life you can ever be into, which is the international lounge of an airport, where you are no longer in your origin city and you are no longer in your destination city. You are just inside Inception level question mark. And then you get on the plane, or as I like to call it, the MRI in the sky. It's a closed MRI where they feed you, and the ceilings, and so you go into this, what I call emotional deprivation chamber, where every movie makes you cry. Hey, the in-flight announcement makes me cry. I never realized cross-check doors L and R. And then somehow you fall asleep and you wake up and you're kind of psyched. You're kind of excited. You don't know how you got there, but you open up a window and sun beams through and someone says, close that goddamn window, I'm still sleeping. And you go, sorry, sir. And you close it down. And I just say, open the window back up again. I turn around to him and I say, let it be terrible. Is what I say to him. So then you get where you're going. And you're having a lovely time. You're like, this is great. And then you start talking to your friends back home and you realize, like, you have no idea where you are or what time it is compared to where they are. And it's like the movie Frequency. Remember the movie Frequency where Dennis Quaid is talking to his kid? It's like you don't know. You're like 50 years apart. You're putting a cigarette burn in a desk to say hello to somebody 50 years ahead of time. I don't know. I told you the show wasn't going to be very good. I wrote all these by hand. There's nothing to it. But the movie Frequency is very good. I stand by that. By the way, tonight's audience made up of everybody who makes some of my money. So Don't trust any of the laughter. The fix is in on tonight's crowd. Laugh at your own discretion. What's going on? Oh, the watch tonight, 5164A with a khaki strap. No big deal. Spend 10 minutes on how perfect your hair is. Well, Andy, I've managed to go, Andy Cohen, good to see you. I've managed to go without a hairdryer. And the trade-off is that you get like 6 good minutes of perfect hair before you get... So I've got about 5 more minutes on the egg timer where this looks good before it goes like that. So thank you, Andy. How was the first show? The first show was incredible. Musically, it was great. The band is so well rehearsed. But, it has to be said that the intro to the show was so beautiful. And I have some people to thank for that. Specifically Bella Cololo, who sang a song with me. And I think she had recommended the song, How Great Thou Art, which I had not really heard before. And she was sort of my vocal instructor and really helped me understand the song so that I could do it some justice. And then she was so great. Look it up if you like. I want to personally sort of keep it in the room. I don't want to put it on Instagram and be like, look what we did. That was for the room, but if you want to go find it somewhere, it's a really beautiful performance. And then Tewehi Haka is a group that came out and did a Haka ceremony, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with by now. And it was just really, really beautiful and powerful. And I can't thank everyone enough for helping put the show into the mood it needed to be in without my having, like I said last week, to find the words, which I don't know I was able to find. And ultimately, as always, music comes in and saves the day. So it was a beautiful show in Auckland, so thank you to everyone who came. And thank you to Bella and the Haka group who came. It was really, really great. And tonight's night 2, we're having a blast playing 3-hour sets, 2 45 3-hour sets. They're so much fun. Here's what I love about playing 3-hour sets. My entire career, I've been in my head while I'm playing over whether or not the crowd wants to hear that particular song. I mean, when you have a couple of big songs that bring people in the room, you're always wondering, like, should I be playing that song right now? Do they even care about this? Do they care about that? It's like me at my least confident somehow. It's like musically really confident, but like hoping that people want to hear that song. I don't understand like what anybody wants at a certain given time. So when you have 3 hours to play with, it is so much fun because you're going to get what you want. I got enough songs now that I'm not trading one to play another. And it's like I looked up one day and realized I have all these songs that are still worth playing, and it's the time of my life to put them together and play all these songs. So it's great. Only stop the train if it burns coal. Well, that's quite a stance. 3 hours equals freedom. It really does. How do you feel the tour changes from start to finish? I hope it doesn't this time. Actually, everything I've done is meant to maintain sanity. So if anybody's like, why haven't you come here? Why don't you come here? You're coming to Europe, but you're not coming to this city. It's part of a plan to maintain my sanity so that I can go from place to place and not have to come home and reinvent myself all over again because I've gone crazy on the road. Because going crazy on the road in a hotel room, it'll happen. It'll happen. I'm trying to beat that. And by the way, if anybody's wondering, John, there's an entire world of beauty outside these walls. What are you doing in a hotel room today? I say, welcome to the world of being a touring musician. You just in hotel rooms all the time. And that's the way life is. Still free falling now and again? We'll still be free falling. Go to food to eat on the road. Coffee. Is there a reason I didn't bring Fender Blackland? Who says I didn't bring it? What hotel did you stay at Auckland? A very thorough stalker. That's a very thorough stalker. And where were you? May I also stand there? May I scream at the window you once stared out of? That is I actually kind of like that. Look, I know stalking is a serious thing. But I'm just saying, if they ever made a show where they brought together a stalker and the person that stalker was stalking and put them together for a weekend to see if the stalker wants to continue stalking at the end of 72 hours with their stalkee, I'd be fascinated to watch it. Again, it's a very serious thing. But if there could be a guy at the end who's like, I really thought that it was going to be more fun than it was. But by morning 3, I just wanted my freedom back. That might be controversial, but... Who would have that? Home and Garden TV? No, Home and Garden TV would be Stalker and his prey, both house hunting. I don't know. I just always wondered what happened if a stalker got what he wanted. I think they'd be like, well, I'm going to go back to counting birds. I don't know. But also, stalking is a very serious thing. It's a very serious thing. What am I drinking? I'm drinking a local kombucha. Shout out to Remedy Kombucha. I don't know. Will I be checking all the indigenous of Australia? I won't be, and that's because I am going to meet my stalker. And we're going to spend 3 days on a yacht. I am just going to rest. I just rest in here. I just rest in my hotel. Will I ever grow out my beard? Well, I can't grow a beard. And one time I tried to grow it all the way out, and it looked just like... It looked bad, but it felt good. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to look bad to feel good. Yeah, I like that. I wrote this thing down, which was in my iPhone notes. It's from my iPhone notes. This is something I'm sure won't make a song, so I can read it to you. I don't care how you look. I care how you look at me. Thank you. Beards are yucky. Shout out from Ireland. Wonder how we pack up the current mood set. I actually made a second current mood set, and we shipped it here. We shipped it here. Who am I wearing? This is Bart Simpson. No Bart Simpson shirt. Bandana at any length or not yet? I don't understand what that means. Would I rather have my left eye or my right thumb? I need my right thumb. Take the left eye. Did you get a chance to peep some good anime? Did you get a chance to peep some good anime? That's Lil Boom. Lil Boom asked me, did I get a chance to peep some good anime? I watched one anime not long ago, but even the title's controversial. It was a classroom. It had classroom in the title. I don't even want to say the title, because it's a weird title, but it had classroom in the title. And it's a brilliant anime show. Someone else read it. I don't feel like saying it. It wasn't Spirited Away. We can say that for sure. All right, well, listen, I think it's probably time to take some questions. Again, if you're putting off anything to watch tonight's current mood, don't. Don't. Lil Boom's got it. He wrote it there. It says Assassination Classroom. How does the licensing work on that shirt? Serious question. It's a bootleg shirt, I'm sure. Did I change my hairstyle? I didn't mean to. I just got out of the shower. I love yo mama and daddy so much for making you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Jordan Rubin says, you're so far away, I don't know what time it is where I am. It's all very strange. What's my favorite set of my own lyrics? Life ain't short, but it sure is small. You get forever and nobody at all. Or but nobody at all. That one I just go like... It's in a song that doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense, but it's funny. I pull out all these songs and I go, wow, these are really great songs. And I pulled out On the Way Home and I was like, close. Close, John. Just remember On the Way Home. I mean, I understand what it means. I didn't do enough good a job of explaining it. What gauge electric strings? 10s. As we get older, we go down a gauge. It's just how life works. Remember when we were young, we were playing 11s or 12 with a plain G string? You know? I got 12 gauges and I bought a plain G string to go along with it. They wind the G in a 12. And then you get 11s, and then you're always like, the tone is better. And then you get to a certain age and you're like, give me 10s. That's a thinking man's gauge. All right, well, listen, we have some questions to get to. Zach 12345678890 just wrote Olivia Wilde. So Zach, we'd like to recruit you for the show. HGTV would like to get in touch with you. What's my favorite guitar pedal to use? Anything green with 3 knobs. I know this is going to sound really like, I don't know what it's going to sound like. Let me just say it and you come up with what it sounds like. Imagine that. Imagine I say something and you decide what it sounds like. If it's green and it has 3 knobs, I'll make it sound good. I really don't care. Everyone's trying to sell a new green pedal with 3 knobs. I'll take any of them and I'll make it work. See what's happening to the hair now? The poof has begun. I'd like to watch a time lapse of this poof take place. Anything green with 3 knobs. You want to argue about what JRC something chips, Texas Instrument chipsets are in there? I don't care. I'll make them work. All right, so we have some. What was it like directing those uncensored Brandon Wardell feed pics? It was steamy. It was hard to keep my mind on the job, but ultimately I did because I'm a professional. So this is the first time I'll be using the question and answer part of the show. So some of you have submitted questions. Let's see here. Okay, well, so cursory overview of the questions shows that all of them are very goofy so far. We're going to keep scrolling. Some of these also not questions. Pardon me. Oh, this is a good question. Have you ever had a love at first sight? I had one love at first sight in my life. It was my first girlfriend. This is the most wholesome answer I'll ever give in my life. And I was at church because I decided I wanted to investigate religion myself because my parents were of differing religions. And they had the quasi-successful idea to raise children without religion. And I decided that I wanted to go to church. And I went to a Methodist church, and I saw the back of this girl's head, and I was in love with her. And it was the first and only relationship that I could say I truly could trust. It wasn't a function of fame or success to any regard. It was the only relationship I ever had pre-fame and success and all the other very interesting, by the way, components. It's the only one I could ever really trust. Like, yeah, that one. I was 15 years old. I saw the back of her hair. She also had wet hair at the time. And I just remember seeing the back of her wet hair, and I was in love. And she turned around, and it was all great. It was all great. And then I found her not long ago on, what do they call that? The Facebook. But I found it was a lot of work. I put a credit card number in a couple websites to get a name, and then I pulled an actual married name. Once I got the married name, I went, well, here we go. And then I saw pictures of her, and I hadn't seen her in years and years and years. And this was actually on a Sunday night. Had a little cry. You know, this is the only person who ever went out with me before things got real complicated in my life. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And that's the person I wrote Dear Marie about. So that was my love at first sight. Let's see, another question here. This is a question, we're going to put this to a vote. Should I keep reading this question? Why do we, as a society, should I keep reading the question? Should I just, okay, I'm not going to look at the rest of the question. Should I just answer it based on a question beginning, why do we as a society? Okay, I'm told yes. Here we go. I'm not reading the rest of it until right now. Why do we as a society bother to work towards anything in a dying planet filled with immorality? Why do we bother? Well, I'm not sure that your assessment that we are a dying planet filled with immorality is correct. If that was true, I think the question would have some merit, and I'd be able to answer why we would bother, and maybe the answer would be because we might be able to turn it around. However, I don't believe that's true, and I don't believe that's a very good metric as to what's actually going on, but I think what you really want to say is you feel slightly defeated and helpless with the world at the moment. Which, and let me put this in perspective for you in terms of how we can sometimes believe the world is a bad place when it isn't. I love Special K Chocolatey Delight cereal. I don't care about the flakes. I care about the Chocolatey Delight. Some bowls especially the beginning bowls of Special K Chocolatey Delight, have no chocolatey delight in them. These bowls, it's just a bad look at the bowl. You know, it's just a bad look at the box. You just pour it and you go, it's a bad look. So you might, from that one bowl, say that Special K Chocolatey Delight is not a good cereal if that's your only bowl. But if you stick with it and you keep pouring extra bowls, you'll find that sometimes you get a bowl chock full of Chocolatey Delight. And then you'll say, well, I was wrong about this cereal altogether. This is actually insanely great cereal. The Chocolatey Delight is the love and the hope of mankind. Thank you. The boring ass flakes, well, that's the things you read about. That's your job. That's the imminent death of your dog. Those are the things you look at and you go, why is this worth it? The Chocolatey Delight bricks, that's why we do it. That's why we do it. Thank you. Thanks very much. Holy shit, you brought the backdrop. I did. We shipped the backdrop. I almost thought about shipping the cardboard box that I use as the desk, which would be the world's most useless expense of all time, is to put a cardboard speaker box into another box and ship it internationally. I've done dumber with my money. I want you to know that. My dog is sitting next to me. Why you gotta why you gotta put that out there like that? Well, you know, that's what I do sometimes. As soon as a moment is good, I don't know if you're like me, but as soon as I recognize a moment is good, next thing I think about is, how can I trash this for myself? That's me. Am I coming to any of Len and Stella shows? I'd like to. Have I ever listened to Tool? I have listened to Tool a couple times. I like the work of Maynard James Ferguson. Didn't think I knew that name, did you? Like the work of Maynard James Ferguson. If I didn't know who Maynard James Ferguson was, and someone said, is he the lead singer of Tool or a certified public accountant working in Evanston, Illinois? I would choose certified public accountant. I'd also let Maynard James Ferguson do my taxes, knowing he's the lead singer of Tool. Can you say, hey, Andrew, so I can flex on my friends? Well, it looks like someone needs a little flexual healing. Hey, Andrew, how you doing? Flexual healing is something that's good for me. I hope our spirits are the same. It's a Sunday night for you guys, and it's a Monday afternoon for me. Let's do a hair check-in. Starting to lose it. Andy, starting to lose it. Evanston off the cuff, I know. I thought of a small town, and I thought of beautiful Evanston, Illinois. You ever been to Evanston? It's beautiful. Tree-lined streets. Tree-lined streets. That's what you want. It's where a kid wants to make a wish to become an adult and get it, you know? You know? That's a big reference. Mercedes Rule. What's up? It's a Mercedes Rule shout-out on Current Mood. This show is not very good. 14.2 thousand people have exposed to the world they have nothing better to do. What's my favorite Pop-Tart flavor? Trick question, it's s'mores. I don't know why it's a trick question. Let's see a couple more questions here, and then... okay. Why you look so handsome? Thank you. Oh, that's a great question. All right. What song have you written that didn't get the love it deserved? Before I answer this question, I want to let you know, I'm a real see something, say something guy in my own feelings. And I got a little spark inside me that wants to really tell the truth about something. But I don't really feel like dealing with having told the truth about it. These are two separate timelines. Being truthful and having been truthful are two very different realities. Having been truthful gives you nothing when you start reading shit about it 3 days later. The song that didn't get the love it deserved was Paper Doll. And I was in a situation where I had to stand strong on one of the tenets of being a singer-songwriter, which is we don't talk about who the songs are either inspired by or referenced, because many times they just don't inspire any one person. And when Paper Doll came out, 100% of the people believed it was about somebody. And the person that they thought it was about brought a certain amount of superficial pop culture back and forth about it that I think kind of shat on the song. But the song was not about that person. And I could never tell anybody that's not true, because then I would be breaking my rule that songwriters don't say who the songs are about or not about. So I had to burn Paper Doll to save the integrity of being a singer-songwriter. And I think because people thought that it was a shot across the bow in a pop culture kind of Hollywood story, the song didn't get the credit it deserved, but it wasn't what people thought it was, and I had to let it go. So, write a story about that without proper nouns, people. See how you do there. All right, let's see. Someone just wrote bastards. You know what I need? I need more people to just yell bastards at the end of a point that I made. It makes me feel better. Spirit animal, offensive. What do I do before I sleep? You know what? We're taking the question. What do I do before I sleep? I do 2 things without fail when I'm home. By the way, 16.7 thousand people watching me. Of course this would be the night that critical mass would take place if I only had a good show, and I don't. This was the one that everybody was watching going, I hear this Johnny kid's got a show. Let's get him one. Let's watch what he's doing. Oh, geez, this is the most boring crap I've ever seen in my life. 17,000 people now watching, and I have very little to offer you. Here's what I do before I sleep. I become addicted to Pedialyte Pops. Addicted to Pedialyte Pops. I take 3 Pedialyte Pops. I snip them. Now, these things are frozen solid. They're like bricks. I have now determined that at a 73-degree temperature in a room, Pedialyte Pops will be perfect in 14 minutes. So they're sort of an egg timer for when to get into bed. As they begin to thaw, I begin my evening ritual, which is a lot of creams, a lot of balms, a lot of masks, a lot of mists. I mean, look at me. I'm 41. A lot of balms, a lot of mists, no smoking, blah, 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 blah. But that's like the egg timer. Then I get into bed, and these things, the first one's still a little tough, because you got to work ahead. You're thinking about the last one. So you got to subtract the time it takes to eat each one, because you can't have the last one be all drippy. So it becomes successfully slushier as you go. And while I'm enjoying the Pedialyte Pops, I like to watch videos on Reddit of drunk people fighting at Denny's. I love videos of drunk people fighting at Denny's. Here's how I know I'm watching a good fight video. If somebody says, "You got me fucked up," it's going to be a good fight video. A lot of people say, "You got me fucked up," and that's when you know. If you're ever around anybody and they say, "You got me fucked up," you just apologize. You just apologize. On God, if somebody says, "You got me fucked up," on God, things are going to happen. But the most important thing, the guy who always yells, "Do something," things get done to him. I've never seen a guy yell, "Do something," and win the fight. Anyway, I just love to eat Pedialyte Pops and watch people who should not be out at the hour they're out, drunk as can be, fighting in either line at a Wendy's or a McDonald's or a Denny's. Parking lot's really good. I love people who antagonize anybody with a camera. I don't know why I like this stuff. What up, Reddit Public Freakout? I'm a big Reddit Public Freakout guy. And I have 3 Pedialyte Pops. 2 very different experiences crashing together. Because I'm watching somebody get knocked out, and I'm going... That's what I do. I'm sorry. My goodness. I had a "Can I talk to you" over here for a minute. Let's do it really fast. Hey, can we talk for a minute? Let's get in it. Oh, person who designs hotel rooms. Why'd you put the power outlets where you put them? Why is the coffee machine in the bathroom? Blah, blah, blah. That was "Can we talk to you here for a minute?" Tonight's sponsor, Bootleg Q-Tips. Bootleg Q-Tips. They're not like real Q-tips. You can't really do anything with them. Q-tips, they're for your ears. Bootleg Q-tips Useless. All right, that was tonight's Q&A. Here's a funny idea for you. You hear a lot about Asian fusion restaurants, but you never hear about Asian fission restaurants. Gonna let our science freaks play with that one for a minute. That would be exploding Asian food. That would be disassembling the parts. That would be like going to Nobu and having them light a little bit of TNT inside of a Kobe taco. And the Asian part, well, it flies this way. And the Peruvian part, well, it flies that way. And I would be the first person to line up with that. Here's another funny idea. What if you set up your Face ID in your iPhone as a joke with a funny face? And then your iPhone learned your Face ID as a funny face, and then something serious happened, and you'd have to do something wildly inappropriate with your face to unlock the phone. So you'd be like, can you please turn your radios down at home? By the way, 1.8 thousand people got the right idea and checked out. We're now at 15.2 thousand. So then something serious happens, but you still have to unlock your phone. So you'd be like, Aunt Susie? No. If something happened to Aunt Susie, we've got to get a plane home right now. Okay. That idea's over. We'll do a couple more questions, and then we got to go to sound check. Oh, that's a good question. Johnny, do you think you'll actually settle down? Well, this question would entail that I should have in the past and didn't. I don't like the word settle down. It would mean that the reason I haven't yet is because I don't want to. And that's just not true. And maybe the thing that makes me the saddest in my life is that when I tell people, well, no, it's when people ask me, like, do you want to get married and have kids? And I go, well, of course I do. They go, you do? It makes me very sad that there's something that I may have done in my life or not have done in my life to give people the impression that I don't want that. So, will I settle down? I will do what you think looks like settling down at some point in my life. But I won't look at it as settling down. I'll look at it as things getting hugely more exciting. Because I got into my room in New Zealand. It was a beautiful hotel room. And I had this innate feeling I've never had before. This would be a whole lot fun if it was festooned with sippy cups. I looked at, now, when I was younger, I was like, oh, we could put girls in here. We could fit ladies in here. And oftentimes we did. But not anymore. Now I'm alone in a room, and I'm looking at wide open space, and I go, there should be sippy cups in the sink. You know? There should be somebody drawing with crayons, which also some girls did. When, that's not an age reference. I don't know. It's not an age reference. I promise. Well, we know what the beat myself up report's going to contain tonight. So I do wish that there was that part of my life, and so I'm in between those two things. You might say I'm in the international lounge between being a bachelor and being a husband. I'm somewhere in TSA getting a pat down, and I'm patting myself down. Emotionally and psychologically patting myself down. And I'm going, do we need this anymore? And a lot of times the answer is no, we don't. No, we don't. Carl just said, I just washed a bunch of sippy cups. Overrated. Carl has a 2-year-old at home. Carl, I want your life just a little bit. Just a little bit. What was I going to say? Oh, also I want to be on the phone and have it be interrupted by a child. I want to be on the phone with somebody and just go, Dylan, what do you... No, bring it to mom. Bring it to mom. Bring it to mom. Sorry about that. You know, I just think that's fun. Also, I've started telling people I have a 2-year-old at home, and it allows me to leave social engagements easier. I really have. If you're not sure if you can get out of a situation, you go, well, I got a 2-year-old at home. And they don't question it. It's me, and they don't question I have a 2-year-old. They go, get out of here. I need to kiss your mouth. Thank you. You'll grow tired of that eventually. I'm not sure what you're making reference to, but I probably will, no matter what it is. Who's going crazy for Umbrella Academy on Netflix? Well, Adrian Gallagher writes that. He has a verified check. Somebody tells me Adrian Gallagher is on a show called Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Why kombucha? Because it doesn't have any more caffeine in it, and I'm already rocking. All right, well, listen. Tonight's Beat Myself Up report, the part about crayons. I was talking more about a certain education level. That's all I meant. I'm going to beat myself up about that all the way until showtime. Let's do one more question, and then we'll get out of here. DTF? No. When dating, how do you set apart genuine people from not? You use your senses. You can tell. You can tell. A lot of times people ask me, like, how do you know when someone's using you or not, or wants to know you for the right reason? I can tell like that. It's in the eyes. What's more difficult, hitting a 90-mile-an-hour fastball or dunking a basketball? This would mean that I've done both these things, and I have not. What's your Enneagram number? I don't know, but my sleep number is 4. I like it. I like it. Real soft. Real soft. I like to lose my phone every time I put it next to me. I like to wake up with my phone underneath me. What is the dumbest things I've spent my money on? One time I was in Dubai and I bought a diamond stud earring, and then I lost it. I lost it very quickly. Am I amped up for Dead & Company tour? Totally. What is my hobby? This is my hobby. What is my most irrational fear? I won't tell you because you'll just inundate me with it. I don't need that in my life. When am I going to release a new album? I'm going song for song right now and having a good time. By the way, next week I'm going to come to you from Hong Kong and we'll have more show for you because we'll make sure of it, because this is hurting my feelings real bad. I'm a quality guy and this is hurting my feelings. But also, if you think about it, I've got to do a show and a tour and travel, and if the show cost $1 to watch, I'd feel bad about it. But just like kindness, this show is free. Oh, if you just tolerate the lulls, you end up with some good stuff. A lot of when am I going to release a new album, all by the same person. How do I get the wondrous poof in my hair? Oh, come on, give me a good one. Give me a good one. No. What's my favorite song right now? It's Harmony Hall by Vampire Weekend. Come on. I'm going to make it... Last book I read, long time ago. Books put me to sleep. Not because they're not good, but scanning my eyes this way puts me to sleep. Come on. How am I feeling about playing Brisbane tonight? Very excited. One of my greatest simple pleasures, a hotel bathroom with a heat lamp over it. I like a heat lamp. I like you ever standing under a heat lamp, you know, and you get a little heat lamp, like a little like this. It's like, I don't know, that felt good one time in my life. Not relatable. This show is so bad. Okay. My manager just quit. He just quit. Which one of my own songs makes me the saddest and happiest? Stop This Train makes me the saddest, and New Light makes me the happiest. I would say those two songs represent the gamut. All right, a little more extra time with you to bring about a soft landing. Guys, I tried my best tonight. Normally when I'm home, I have resources. I have someone I make crazy, and I send her out to art stores and hardware stores to get things that I have in mind last minute. I don't have that here. I have only love in my heart for you, and I hope you have a great week. I love you. I'll be seeing more of you soon. We're playing Brisbane tonight. If you're in Brisbane, low ticket warning. I don't know how I feel about the low ticket warning. Oh my goodness. Thank you for telling me there's a low ticket warning. I almost went. Favorite thing to do on the MPC. I can actually make songs really fast on the MPC now. So I can give someone a song in a co-write situation that sounds like a song really fast, which is good. This is great. Grey Skull Warrior wrote, "Thanks, John. Enjoy Australia." Which is just speaking for everyone, saying, hey, on behalf of 14.6 thousand other people, well, we gotta go. I'm gonna let you go. Remember when people on the phone would say, well, I'm gonna let you go? That's at least one thing we don't have to deal with anymore with the phone. Well, I'm gonna let you go. Oh, thank you. No, I'm gonna let you go. Hey, can we talk over here for a minute? One of these days, the Can We Talk for Here is gonna be like, everything's fine. I'm gonna let you go. Okay, I gotta go. I love you. I'll see you soon. Don't tell anyone about this. Tell everybody that we had incredible musical guests. Just, I don't know. And favorite Bill Evans album is the cheat is that you go with the complete Live at the Village Vanguard sessions and then you get all of the songs you want. Okay, bye. I love you. Bye.